And welcome back to Romancing Saga 3. We need to figure out where the masquerade is and how to get it back. We do know the first part, it is apparently at the very least on its way to Pidona. But other than that, we have no information on what we are supposed to do now. That is one of the things about the game. Each of the characters has a bit of a plot going on. Here our main goal is to get the masquerade back, but you don't technically have to do that to complete the game. But for me, I am going to get the masquerade pack because I really want to. Like I said before, in the previous video, this bard can be one of your party members, care for a tune. Singing you something new can lead to him singing about things that are currently going on. So if an abyss gate is open and you have already closed it, he might be singing about that. Or he might be singing about a different type of plot going on somewhere else in the world. This always changes a bit, or you can ask for a sing an ancient tale. Can always be a bit of a background of what's going on in the world, but it doesn't really make much of a difference. I'm still working on it, but when I see you and your deeds, it makes me want to compose. Allow me to accompany you on your travels. Great. So, the bard, or minstrel, always comes wearing a warhammer. Attack 8, it's a club, one-handed, pretty good. Personally, I want to give him the Staff of Vivacity. It's not a whole lot stronger, but it does have the power heal, the skill on it, so he can sort of serve as a bit of the medic, the healer, because as long as you don't use Staff Strike or Staff Break, you can use that for healing anyone. Minister's Fiddle, I don't think you can really take that off of him. Nope, it's telling me I can't do that. He always wears it. Gives him +1 to Charisma. Looking at his skills, he's basically good at pretty much everything. He has Skull Splitter, he hasn't acquired it properly yet. Other than that, you can have him do almost anything, but for the most part I usually use him with clubs and maces because, well, that's what he comes with usually. Inns will not charge you fees if you rest while you are fully healed. Cool. A girl wearing the most peculiar clothing has been roaming around town lately. And that's the girl over there. She can be found in the various towns, and if you are close to her, she will start rushing towards you and play a game of tag with you. If you have less than 6 members in your party, when she catches you for the 3rd time, she will join your party. She will give a fake name that's usually based on some sort of food or a candy, so her name could be candy itself, it could be tart, it could be filou, stuff like that. The thing about her is she comes with no skills in anything. And she also has very low HP, so the thing about her is she can be a very good party member and be adequately strong if you manage to keep her alive long enough to actually gain skills and SP and HP increases. And that's the big if about her. If she does ever join your party and you don't want her there, head up to Riblov. Because usually you can go to an inn or a pub and you can say you want to party with a party member, but she will refuse to leave. And the only way to get her to leave is to head off to Riblov. Gonna set sail with us? Yes. We're gonna go to Pidona. Pidona, like I said, is a town that every character has to go off to. Usually, it's the first place that you go to after your introduction. Because there is one part here that every character has to do, except for Mikal, I believe, and then everything else unlocks. There is a weapon shop over here. This is not the correct house that I wanted to go into. Maximus, a leader of the Divine Order, has been asking an awful lot of questions about the relics of the Matriarch. Is that so? And who might you be? Oh, you're a friend of Master Thomas, you say. Master Thomas is in the room to the far left. Relax, it's a fine day. I suppose so. It's been snowing almost non-stop in my place, so a lot of our transport actually cancelled for the day. Sarah is in this room. You can talk to her and recruit her. She is similar to the pink-haired girl in that her HP is rather low, but she is an excellent user of bows. I'm not going to recruit her right now. I'm not going to immediately recruit the characters that I'm going to be keeping for the entire duration. I might change them when I go down the line. I have some business to attend to that at my grandfather's behest. Katarina, please feel free to explore the city without me. Certainly. But for the most part, some of the times you will, quote-unquote, have to get rid of certain characters, or you have to have them in your party for a duration of something. The Divine Order in Pidona has started some kind of recruitment drive. Oh no! She's catching up to me! Ah! The port's to the east, with the old town lying to the west, and the new town out to the road ahead. Alrighty then. A second armory store. Haven't you ever wondered what Let me try to read. Haven't you ever wondered what happens when you get over 10,000 orums? Not to worry, it's not evaporating. Comes here for a treasury to look after. Yep, you can talk to him and get money out as long as it doesn't exceed 10,000 orum. So, broadsword, Zweihänder, a rapier and a longbow, night shields. They avoid physical damage at times, 40% chance to increase death by 25. That would actually be pretty good. Depetrifier, petrification, I don't think that's an issue for right now. Pidona Jewel recovers SP and MP, that might be good to have later on, but for now... let's see, the Zweihänder is 18 attack, and the Great Sword that Katarina has right now... 10. That would be a really good increase. I think I'll buy the Zweihänder. No. Yes, please. Thank you. Replace that. And there's Thomas very heavily indicating that he wants us to follow him. You'd be surprised how many people took refuge from Ludwig's tyranny here in Old Town. Alright. With housing prices being what they are, only the richest of the rich can afford to live in New Town. Who are you? Identify yourself at once. Katarina, what are you doing here? I saw you run off in a hurry, so I wanted to make sure everything was okay. There's no need for alarm, Charles. I know them. I was just telling Lady Muse about our adventures. Please come in. I can't remember the last time I've had so many visitors. Lady Muse, Mitch went missing. We couldn't find her, and then Gon went to look for her, and he went to look in the Archfiend Palace. The Archfiend Palace? Oh dear. Charles, please go find Gon. Yes, milady. I would like to help if I can. Thank you for your assistance. Mitch, what happened? Where's Gon? I don't know. Let's hurry. Mitch! Where are you, Mitch? Archfiend Palace is crawling with thieves, brigands, and more than the occasional monster. If that wasn't enough, there have been recent sightings of Divine Order acolytes scavenging around for hidden treasures. At this point, you cannot leave the Archfiend Palace. You have to complete this little quest, so to speak, because that is a mandatory part to pretty much unlock the rest of the game. I know this castle is like more than 600 years old, and it's where the Archfiend had his main seat back then, but man, he lived in style. So this is a little mechanic. Yes, like I said, when you walk around you can see the enemies just fine. If you run, they become little shadow pieces. They can still attack you, and as you will remember, running into an enemy will break your formation. Speaking of formation, I have four characters now, so I should probably change that. The thing about Thomas, like I said, he starts off with decent stuff overall. He's really good at bows and spears. Other than that, his HP is really not that good. So if I had actually had him as my main character, or I had just done the Monica side of the Katarina introduction, would have been pretty good. For the most part though, he's not that great right now. You know, he's got a long spear, he got a hunting bow. Hunting bow, downside is they're usually not that strong. On the upside, they can aim on pretty much any character and enemy on the field. And then we have Charles here, an ex-Runeblade. Look at this dude! He is amazing at spears, he is amazing at fire magic, and he's overall good with swords. As his title over there says, he's an ex-Runeblade, so he's basically a veteran in fighting and all that stuff, but his strength and dexterity are horrendous. He is incredibly weak. The thing about him is, there is a way to recruit him later and to improve his parameters without leveling. It's just that he's pretty... I'm gonna flat out say it, he's pretty crippled right now. He also doesn't have the best type of equipment, so do try to keep him alive as much as you can. If you have at least one more character, you can get a formation that doesn't use him. So then he's just there in the back, just not that important. So we can do a bulwark. Speed down for those two. Magic pyramid. But I'm not using magic, so I'm probably not going to be using that very much. Desert Lance. Speed up for whoever is in the front, speed down for everyone else. But I think... just in case I want to do an open delta. And you can see here in the back... Charles is in the back right now because I'm using a 3-person formation. You can change them out if you want to. But given that he is really not that strong, I do want to make sure to keep him alive. Because I don't really want to put any equipment on him that I'm not going to have until I actually recruit him, if I do recruit him. And I don't want to risk him dying. Dying permanently, that is. That is what the LP is for. Our characters start with 10, Charla has 9. Part of the whole thing about being a veteran who is older and all that stuff. Every time a character loses all their HP in battle, they lose 1 LP, a life point. If they are not healed with a bomb or anything, and they get attacked again, they lose another LP. If their LP goes below 0, so they are still here with LP 0, but if they get another LP taken from them, they are permanently dead. Until later in the game when you have closed an Abyss Gate. Then usually the characters are revived and you can regain them. Overall though, I do prefer to not kill any of them off. You will see a lot of treasure chests in this area, all of them empty. And the reason for that is given to you by the narration earlier. You've had thieves and brigands and the New Order coming in here trying to find everything already. So there's nothing left for you to find. In the higher levels here, that is. I do highly suggest you do not do what I did when I was playing this game many, many years ago. Collect Gone and then go down here. Don't do it. Everything there is way too strong for you right now. You're not even supposed to go there anyway, so... There is a way and a reason to come down here later, but for now... You're just in the upper levels. I keep having to interrupt myself. A small thing. If you're ever like me when I was very young and you couldn't figure out how to get across here, you have to run. Where's Mitch gone? Have you seen her? She's alright. She's at Lady Muse's house now. I was so scared. Be strong. You were brave. No need to cry. I disagree. Crying is very important. It can build up... No, it can build down stress. And sometimes it's just good to have a cry. Han's safety has been ensured, thanks to your actions. For that, I am in your debt. And Charles has left our character party. Like I said, that is a required thing to do for practically every character, but now we do have the option to... Excuse me, sir. Thank you. We do have the option to pretty much travel to almost every location that has a port. Almost. So going to this little side armor shop, there's nobody there. Not again. This is all wrong. Nora. The shop's closed for the day. Have you any weapons or armor for purchase? Sorry, you are fresh out of stock. This workshop is impressive. Strange to think it's run by only 2 smiths. It wasn't like this before. Legend has it that the first master smiths worked with the matriarch to reforge Aluces's demonic spear into the matriarch's spear. It was a masterpiece, a true work of art. After the matriarch closed all the abyss gates, her spear was put on display in this workshop. And it became our trademark. Smiths from all over the world would come here to hone their craft. Over the course of 300 years, our workshop became the finest anywhere. The matriarch's spear was stolen in the turmoil of the battle between Ludwig and Clemens, and Nora's father went looking for it. A year later, he had traced it back here to Pidona, but when he went to retrieve it, 3 days later, his body was found floating in the harbor. Following his death, our smiths began to leave in droves. And now, it's just the 2 of us. I've made up my mind, Kane. I'm gonna go look for the bastard that killed my old man and took the spear. I need you to look after the shop while I'm away, okay? You'll end up just like he did, no way. Help Nora or stand back and watch. I suggest helping her. Are you sure it's the matriarch's spear? Of course it is. Do you have any clues that might help? My dad left me with 2 leads. A red coral earring and the word jackal. A red coral earring and jackal. Don't you think it'd be better to go together than alone? You have a point. The name's Nora. Put her there, partner. And Nora has joined you now. Nora! 140 HP and 14 LP, so she's already tougher than a lot of other people that end up joining you. And yes, I lost some LP on the way back. You can see she's already well versed in lances and ecstatically good at axes, maces, and clubs, that sort of thing. Makes sense for a blacksmith. She comes with a warhammer and a long spear, and decent equipment. I'm gonna give her a bomb, and that's the last bomb I have. Everything is a quality bomb now. I'm not sure if I want to keep Thomas. I do think I want to keep him at least for now. Maybe work on his on the bow skills, so that if I do find a better party member and they are actually also good at the bow, I can just immediately replace them and they can use whatever bow skill he has mastered. Skills she has: the crushing blow, the rotator, and the double thrust. 2 of them for the club, 1 of them for the spear. So she's pretty good. I personally... I don't know if I'm gonna actually give her any kind of spear to work with. I think she's fine with the hammer for now. I don't care if I'm the last one at this forge. I have a duty to make new goods, and I'll see it through to the end. If you come across any of our former smiths, please persuade them to come back to our workshop. We can still forge amazing new things, even without the matriarch's spear. Talk to him, and he, on that side of the workshop, will be working on making weapons. He can make a partisan right now. Not really that amazing. I do believe Thomas? No, he has a long spear. A partisan is, I believe, 1 step above that, and it's overall okay. The upside is that for these, you pretty much don't have to pay any money. So this is a good way to get some stuff back. The downside is how long it takes can be based on how many people are working there. Since it's only Kane right now, it's going to be quite a while. Fortunately, one of his former colleagues is... which house was it? I do believe it was in here. Didn't move all that far away. One of them is still in Pidona. You can recognize them because they look like this. Blondish, sand-brown hair, beard, blue tunic, purplish pants. I used to hone my craft at the workshop in town. I can't imagine that place being around much longer, though. Its masterpiece, the matriarch's spear, was stolen, and the master craftsman was murdered. Kane's still fighting for the workshop. Together you can restore its prestige. Imagine that. The lad's done a lot of growing up, hasn't he? Alright, let's give it another shot. Talking to them, you will immediately teleport back to this town. I'm gonna have him craft armor. I got it covered. And they will work on this side of the forge. Make a headband, sure. Start working right away. This does not mean that the dude in Old Town Pidona was also one of the craftsmen. They have to be talking about what this guy was talking about, how they used to work here. Like I said, once you talk to them, you automatically teleport here, so minor downside in that you will automatically leave whatever town you were in previously and be brought back here. Upside, once you actually head into a town or a location, you can just go into the world map and teleport to it. I can't really teleport anywhere right now because I don't have many places unlocked yet. I have Pidona and somewhere around here. I think it's to the right. Somewhere. There we go. Right over here are Luana Mules, so just click on that. Boom, you already go back to the next town that you wanted to previously. So you do have to spend money to unlock a place, but after that you can pretty much go back wherever you want. Now with that mandatory side quest finished, here is a list of possible destinations and their accompanying fares. So previously you could only move to Spike or Pidona, but now we have other places unlocked now that we have done the whole thing with Mitch and gone. You have Ribloff, closest, the further away they are, the more expensive. Vanguard, yeah, it's not that great. Spike, also not that great. I probably could have gone there earlier. I'm going to go to Ribloff first though. There's not much to do in Ribloff. If you do have the pink-haired girl in your party and you go here, she will just automatically leave. Good way to get rid of her if you didn't want her, and this is one of the towns where she doesn't appear. Ribloff supported Ludwig in his campaign, yet Pidona seems wholly unaware of the sacrifices we made. Haven't you ever wondered what happens when you get over 10,000 orms? You're still talking about the same thing as before. Shut up. A Mentome silver sword, so rather expensive, but actually also really good. Silvermare shell bracers, panacea. Quite interesting, but I don't have the money for that right now. Boris Rizev. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. Pleased to make your acquaintance. My brother Nikolai is due to inherit everything from father, leaving me scarce an aurum to my name. Is that any way to reward someone who has faithfully carried out his familiar duties? I'm Vera, eldest daughter of House... this house. My youngest daughter is also not daughter, sister. My youngest sister Tatiana is more than 30 years my junior. I believe... No, you are Nikolai. All business here is conducted under my watchful eye. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to walk in front of you. You may call me Alexei. My youngest daughter Tatiana has gone missing. This is basically indicating that yes, the pink-haired girl is Tatiana. I don't know if anything was added to this. I think this was as far as you ever got with it. in the original version. I don't know if anything was added in this version. Would you please stop walking away? Have you perchance stumbled upon Tatiana? No, so far I've managed to not play hide-and-seek with her. The lack of a clear air is tearing the family apart at the seams. I don't know, sounds to me like there was a clear line on what was going on. The Divine Order had the nerve to build a tower when Naj's royal palace once stood. I swear on my mother's grave it stands 1,000,000 times taller than me. The Divine Order has accumulated a great deal of treasure, but to what end? The Naj Kingdom's Gessia dynasty refused to convert to the Divine Order and expelled them from their lands. Its leader, Tiberius, retaliated by taking up arms and leading his disciples into heated combat. In the decisive Battle of Hamar Oasis a decade past, Naj was thoroughly routed and collapsed into the sands. They're calling the next child of destiny the Archlord, who will be more powerful than the Matriarch or the Archfiend. But will the child actually appear? Spoilers. One of them is one of the characters. The Naj Desert lies beyond Akbar Pass. The way is treacherous, but many disciples of the Divine Order followed across the desert to the Archlord Tower. Alrighty then. The workshop in Pidona is where I learned my trade and developed my skills. But then the Matriarch's spear went missing and the Mastersmith died. I don't know how the forge will recover. Kane's still fighting for the workshop. Together we can restore his prestige. You gotta admire that kid's spunk. Never would have thought the whelp would have it in him. Alright, count me in. Another one added. I'm gonna have to craft weapon. So we have 2 people working on it now. We are currently working on forging a partisan. We are currently working on forging a headband. The more people you have, the usually faster it goes. For that, I'm gonna end it off here, and we'll head off to some new places next time.